Now, on the question of the vice president of the Democratic Party, you must know that we are a democratic party. And we have never stopped people from expressing themselves. And I really don't want to be distracted. That is actually a distraction. Because if you support a candidate, give the good reasons why you support that candidate. I've not heard them, by the way. Because your reason cannot be that the DP president cannot win because he doesn't have the numbers. If that was the case, even this government would not be in power. You saw how they started. They really had a ramshackled army. But what matters is the cause. But I know you people in the media, you like this thing of he said, you said, so you pick what he says, then you come to Mao. Mao has said this now, huh? Now what are you saying to that? So you like that game of ping pong, and I believe that's why you asked that question, because you want to keep fanning those flames. I'm sorry I'll disappoint you. I disengaged from that long ago. It is up to me to just tell you one thing. Time will tell who is right and who is wrong. It is only time that will tell, because many times I've said many things and people were saying Mao is wrong. You remember when people were here saying Mao is a dictator, is mismanaging DP, and so on. Then they fled and went to another party. When they reached there, again they started having the same problem. And Mao was not there anymore. So, see, it is like a monkey and its tail. It goes wherever the monkey goes. So, let us just leave it to time. Those who left DP and went to another political party, they found that I was actually not the problem, because they reached there and started the same conduct. So it is not necessary. But by the way, I'm not offended by the choice of my vice president. I wish him all the best, because people are free to make a choice. We are all fresh from elections with different results. And he is a politician, and I believe perhaps he sees better opportunities there than with my candidature. I don't blame somebody who tries his luck to get a better opportunity. But I believe that ultimately, you don't need to over-explain. You just have to say, this is my choice, and this is why this is my choice. You cannot say, this is my choice because the other one didn't talk to me. I don't agree with that. So let us not make this a controversy. I've even told the leaders of DP that it should not be turned into a controversial topic. Let us respect a choice, and when your candidature looks like it doesn't have prospects, but that's only appearance. You know, there is an appearance and then there's reality. For most of you, it appears as if my candidacy has no prospects. But that is only appearance. I have been involved in elections before, and many times my candidacy has always appeared like it had no prospects. My job, in fact, my profession is to prove people wrong. So once again, we shall prove people wrong. The other day on TV, I was repeating what one religious leader told me about how God answers prayers. And he told me that God answers prayers in 4 ways. God can say, yes, here it is, this is what you have asked for, I give it to you. God can say, no, I'm not going to give you what you have asked for. God can say, here is something better. Or, fourthly, God can say, just wait and see what I'm going to do. So, in the case of Norbert Mao and the speaker's race, just wait and see what is going to happen. We have about 2 months. By the way, 2 months is a lot of time in politics especially. I've seen elections turn in 1 hour, sometimes in a matter of minutes. But there is what in Buganda is called okubaza. So what would you do if you were alive in the days of Kabaka Mwanga and the Uganda Matters? On which side would you be? I think you would go for Mukajjanga. Because Mukajjanga was the hero. He had the weapons, he had the army, he had the backing of the king. I think wherever he went, people were slaughtering bulls and goats and chicken for him. People were offering their daughters. But is that happening anymore? People actually were sympathizing with those Karoli Luangas, and they were perceived to be very stupid. So in the same way, allow people the freedom to make their choices. I'll be the last person to blame anybody for making a choice. There's actually no wrongdoing in making a choice, even when it is wrong, because it is a choice. So now we celebrate the Uganda Matters, and at that time people thought they were wrong. The only question that you need to ask is not whether Mao is strong, whether he's a big candidate who is going to sweep the polls, but the question is, has he got a cause worthy of supporting? And on that one, more than 70% of Ugandans agree. There were some members of parliament from where I come from who made some statements. I've been told that they are not having it easy among the ordinary people. Because the ordinary people also know, okay, let's say the ordinary people may not know what they want, but at least they know what they don't want. And I think in this case, if you want what Ugandans don't want, then you get into problems. And that problem is not going to go away. So, do you notice that even those who used to criticize me a lot, all of a sudden are supporting me very vigorously? Now, what matters is for the people to now tell their members of parliament. Because the members of parliament know that there will be a price to pay in the next elections. 5 years is not a long time. And so, as I talk now, many people are calling their members of parliament and telling them how to vote. Because the person who has sent you still has power over you to tell you that this is what I want you to do. It is not just about making noise on social media. So anybody who is attacking me is just attacking the wrong target. I cannot be the correct target. But again, I repeat that it is only after we have won, that's when people will understand the things I'm talking about now. At this moment, none of you can understand. You cannot believe it because you are not seeing it. You are only looking at appearances. And that's the way it has been. Right from the time I was in Makerere, right from the time when I faced a cabinet minister for a parliamentary election, even when I went to contest for LC5, even when I was contesting for presidency of DP, nobody understood that I was capable of winning because people thought I was facing Goliath. But I already told you that spiritually we have already won. What is left now is to win in the flesh. By the time Goliath fell, the spirit had already fallen. It was only remaining the body to fall. So this is something which I have to keep on repeating and repeating, because on that day I believe even God is going to come down to vote, because we cannot go on like this, and I don't think God can allow this. Let's have a last English question. Yes, please.
Thank you. My name is Bakarua from the Daily Monitor.
With the message they agree with, that we can't go on like this. Everybody says regarding Parliament, we can't go on like this. Okay, you don't need even to have Mao, but do you want to go on like that? So remove me from that. So anybody who is going on radio and television attacking me is just fighting a shadow. The real issues are there. So don't feel bad for me, because me, I'm not feeling bad about those media things. I respect them. But now we are having people from NRM, we are having a lot of young people, we are having historicals, we have very strong women who say, please go and change Parliament. So I'm championing a cause. I'm just, and my people even voted for me against all odds. This was one of the toughest campaigns I've ever fought. You know, I almost got beaten. You think I cannot be beaten in a parliamentary election? I almost got beaten because the ground has changed so much and there was a lot of money invested to defeat me. So you can be sure that I won because the people still trust me. Now what matters is for the people to now tell their members of Parliament. Because the members of Parliament know that there will be a price to pay in the next elections. 5 years is not a long time. And so, as I talk now, many people are calling their members of Parliament and telling them how to vote. Because the person who has sent you still has power over you to tell you that this is what I want you to do. It is not just about making noise on social media. So anybody who is attacking me is just attacking the wrong target. I cannot be the correct target. But again, I repeat that it is only after we have won, that's when people will understand the things I'm talking about now. At this moment, none of you can understand. You cannot believe it because you are not seeing it. You are only looking at appearances. And that's the way it has been, right from the time I was in Makerere, right from the time when I faced a cabinet minister for a parliamentary election, even when I went to contest for LC5, even when I was contesting for presidency of DP, nobody understood that I was capable of winning, because people thought I was facing Goliath. But I already told you that spiritually we have already won. What is left now is to win in the flesh. By the time Goliath fell, the spirit had already fallen. It was only remaining the body to fall. So this is something which I have to keep on repeating and repeating, because on that day I believe even God is going to come down to vote, because we cannot go on like this, and I don't think God can allow this. Let's have a last English question. Yes, please.
Thank you. My name is Bakar Rua from the Daily Monitor.
By the way, I don't keep time. There are rules for gentlemen. There is never any time when I'm going to be late and I don't communicate that I'm going to be late. That's what a gentleman does. And indeed, I communicated 3 times. I sent to my team here, I said, please tell the media that I expect that I may finish the committee by midday. Then later, I even sent another message. Keeping time is an important virtue. Not keeping time is bad manners. But the worst manner is not to communicate with the person who is waiting for you. And let me tell you, this is one of those occasions when I have to say, I always communicate and say, I'm going to be late. I also have very many incidents where I've kept time, and you also can attest to it. On my wedding day, even on the introduction, today I kept time in the committee. In fact, it's the committee that kept, that committee hearing was supposed to start at 10 sharp. It did not start until close to midday. But I always appreciate feedback. And that's why when I came here, I apologized. But it was out of my hands. Now, on the so-called support from the Chief Coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation and the Chief of Defense Forces, just regard them as social media rumors. I think all rumors always have a source. Maybe because I am General Saleh's Vice President in the Salim Saleh Foundation for Humanity. And maybe because I'm also his Vice Chairman in the Uganda Development Forum. But that does not mean he's automatically my supporter. In any case, whenever I talk politics with him, he tells me I'm not a politician. Actually, he distances himself vigorously from political discussions. But I think because of that relationship, which is about 30 years old, there are those who build relationships because they want something from somebody. either they want money or they want some. That's not the case with me. When he launched the foundation, one of the projects we asked him to support was building boreholes for displaced people in Bunyoro. They actually who were displaced in Bweyale. They were drinking water which was like mud. So I requested him to support, and he supported us to build 6 boreholes for the people there. And he has been involved in very many projects. So because of that, people think that he is behind my candidature for speaker. Let us accept that the chairman of the NRM is President Museveni, and it is the NRM which is going to have that debate, including the issues that are going to emerge, and it is the NRM which must discuss Mao, or either throw him out, disown him, tell Ugandans that he is useless, he has no value to add. That's up to the NRM to decide. So I ask you to leave General Saleh out of it, because he is not part of it. Then with the CDF, I also think people also mix up, because when he was celebrating his birthday in Kigali, he invited me and my wife. And I think that's the reason why a lot of the media started speculating that how come Mao was invited among the very few people who went to celebrate that birthday. I don't think that should lead to speculation. In life, we all have people we want to relate to for many reasons. So once again, I ask you to leave the CDF out of it. Though I saw a letter from the organization Elites, signed by the General Secretary, I hope that is evidence enough to the contrary. But for me, I'm also Dimokwete Merekubo. I'm also digging my own way to the Speaker's chair, because it is an open contest. I qualify. So we have a problem and I'm the solution. It's as simple as that. So on the other side, we have a question and I'm the answer. And the question is, who can fix Parliament? That's the question. And the answer is nobody Mao. So the speculation is on social media. But I also told you about it because we are saying, yes, he's a chief. How come he talks so confidently that he's going to be elected speaker? What does he trust? I trust God, and I trust the citizens who voted the members of Parliament. The members of Parliament will have to really apologize when they go back to their constituencies if they don't support my candidature. Because what explanation will they give? Because the persons who voted for them are the ones who are saying, give Mao a chance. You know, if you have one who has already been tested, then you have one who you say, this one may be better. So which one would you choose? If you I think you choose the one that you say, I think I'd rather go there. This is the question that faced a man called Socrates. Socrates was sentenced to death So they told him to denounce his opinions. So he said, I don't like this life. I have lived up to this age and I am not happy. But I'm told there is life after death. I'm not sure, but I'm ready to risk. Maybe it is better than the life I have. So there is a probability and certainty. If you are sure something, if you are sure you don't want something, then why don't you go for something that may be better than what you don't want? That is the logic of many people. But because of these relationships I have been having, people speculate a lot. But I urge you to leave these two gentlemen out of the speculation. It is not, but anyway, I think even whatever I say will not stop the speculation. It is going to even kwebaza nnyo abanamawulire abakungaanidde wano leero. Nzize leero okukkaatiriza nate n'okunyweza ensonga ze nayogerako luli nti olutabaalo lw'okununula Parliament lugenda mu maaso era lugenda bulungi. Lwa nsonga bbiri. Ekisookera ddala twagala kuzzaawo empisa n'obwesimbu n'obuvunaanyizibwa mu Parliament. Ekyokubiri, luno olutabaalo olugenda okuntwala okufuuka Speaker wa Parliament ya Uganda terwesigamye ku byabufuzi. Ekiremesezza Abannayuganda buli kimu bakitunuulira mu galubindi z'ebyobufuzi. Ensonga zange zeesigamye ku bintu birala nnyo, naddala empisa. N'olwekyo bammemba ba Parliament eno eddako ey'e12 be bagenda okutulamula, be bagenda okusalawo. Olutabaalo lwange lwesigamye ku nsonga emu nti omuntu yenna abeera n'obuyinza ayina okubeera n'ebigendererwa ebiruubirirwa byagoberera asobole okukozesa obuyinza obulungi. Okubeera n'obuyinza nga tolina bigendererwa kijja kutwala awabi. Obuyinza bulina okubeera mukozi waffe, naye tetuyinza kukkiriza buyinza kutukulembera oba kutukozesa. Ffe tulina okukozesa obuyinza, so si buyinza kutukozesa. Ndi musanyufu nnyo nti kasookedde nvaayo tusobodde okumatiza Abannayuganda tituli ku mulamwa. Bwe najja wano juuzi ne ŋŋamba nti mbadde neebuuza ku bantu abamu abatunula okumpi bali balowooza nti nagenda okwebuuza mu bantu nga ekibuuzo kye mbabuuza nti neesimbewo oba nedda. Basebo ne banyabo, ekyo si kye kibuuzo. Ekibuuzo kye nababuuza kyali kimu. Nsonga ki eziri mu Parliament ze tulina okutereeza? Waliwo omulamwa? mu kwesimbawo kwange. So sigamba nti weesimbewo teweesimbawo, tekyali bwe tutyo. Tulina ensonga ze twafuna okuva mu bantu tusobole okukyusa Parliament. Ensonga zinga 15 zentadde mu kiwandiiko kye ngenda okufulumya era ekigenda eri abalonzi abanaalonda speaker. Parliament ebiseera ebisinga tetuula na kumala nnaku 10 mu buli mwaka. Tulina okulaba nga Parliament etuula okusobola okuteesa ku nsonga eziruma abantu. Tulina okubeera n'ennaku ezimu nga Parliament etuula nga ensonga Parliament zeeteesaako zivudde mu bantu. Ekyokusatu, mu Uganda tulinamu ab'oludda olwa gavumenti oba ekibiina ekiri mu gavumenti, ne wabaawo abali ku ludda oluvuganya be tuyita aba-opposition. Tulina okukkiriza nti aba-opposition nabo bakiikirira Abannayuganda. N'olwekyo ennaku ezimu Parliament erina okuteekawo olutuulo nga ensonga ze bateesaako zivudde mu bibiina ebiri mu ludda oluvuganya. Tulina okulaba nga tuyamba bamemba ba Parliament babeere ne ba researcher oba abanoonyereza n'abantu ababayambako okuteesa obulungi. Ekyo kijja kuyamba naddala bano ababaka abapya. Ne woba ng'oli mubaka omupya, w'obeera n'omuntu ng'akuwa amagezi ku nsonga z'oteesaako, kikuwa amaanyi kubanga embeera eriwo kati. Parliament eteekawo training, bagiyita induction. Baleeta abakugu ne boogera wiiki namba. Olumala wiiki eyo nga training ewedde. Kati myaka 5 gwe member wa Parliament oba oli kutambula wekka teri akukwatirako. N'olwekyo ku ssente Parliament zeyina, kubanga Parliament erina budget ya trillion emu katonyeze 2, 1.2 trillion. Eyo budget ya Parliament. Ku budget eyo tulina okubeera ne ssente ezisasula abakolera ba MP research. Parliament erina department y'aba researchers, naye abo bakolera buli omu. Naye gwe nga MP naawe olina okubeera ne ba researcher abakola mu ofiisi yo nga Parliament yebasasula. Naye kati ennaku zino olw'okuba buli MP yeesasulira abamuyamba, ofuna omwana wa kojja, omwana wa senga gw'oleeta, ne waba nga talina kyamanyi naye nga oyo gw'oleeta nti jangu mu ofiisi yange, genda ongulire bogoya, genda ondeetere kino, mu kifo ky'okugamba nti Starlink ekola etya. Mumanyi Starlink eya Elon Musk. Kati olina okubeera n'omuntu gw'obuuza nti jagala onoonyereze ku Starlink ekola etya, oba GMOs nkolera research. Ensi mmeka mu Africa ezikaanyiza ku GMOs? Kati omuntu oba omuleese nga yakuyamba ku birala, genda onoonyezeeyo essuuti downtown, njagala ku ngato, ebintu ng'ebyo. Tulina kubeera ne ba researcher bennyini. twagala ebiva